Alright, in this segment, going over a little bit more about basic gameplay, some spell speeds and how they work still. And for this, you're going to need Greffer, Trap Hole, Trap Card, Book of Moon, Quick Play Spell Card, and Malevolent Nuzzler. Equip Spell Card. Alright, now, your opponent's field is Breaker the Magical Warrior. He has 1900 attack when he has a spell counter on him, and you get that spell counter when he's normal summoned. The backfield card is Book of Moon as well. Okay. Now, I want you to have your Malevolent Nuzzler set, your Trap Hole set, and your Book of Moon set. Okay. Now, you also have your Greffer in face-up attack mode out on the field. It's your opponent's turn. Now, they attack. What you can do is, because it's a quick play spell card, you can Book of Moon them to stop the attack, okay? What you cannot do is you cannot activate your equipped spell card, Malevolent Nuzzler, to boost up his attack 700 points because it's not spell speed 2, it's not quick play, it's only spell speed 1. Spell speed 1 cards you can only activate during your turn. So you cannot boost his attack up when your opponent attacks, because it's illegal. It's an illegal move. Spell speed 1, like I said, they can only be played during your turn. Okay? So, you can Book of Moon them, flip them face down, stop the attack, and then during your turn, you can, that goes to the graveyard, sorry, you can equip your Malevolent Nuzzler to Greffer and attack the face down Breaker and send it to the graveyard. Now, going back a step, you have the Malevolent Nuzzler equipped and you attack with Greffer. They play their Book of Moon. Greffer's attack stops in the middle. He gets flipped face down. The equipped spell card goes to the graveyard at this point in time, as does your opponent's Book of Moon. Now, the reason why the equipped spell card goes to the graveyard is because equipped spell cards, generally, I haven't heard of one that says otherwise, but the rules of the game state that equipped spell cards can only be equipped to monsters that are face up on the field. When monsters go into face down defense position, the equipped spell card automatically goes away because they can't continue to stay latched onto the monster. They lose the monster as a target and they are sent away to the graveyard, disposed of pretty much. So, yeah, if your monster gets flipped down for any reason, your equipped spell card goes away. All right? Okay. All right. Reset. Set all your monsters. That goes back. Now, Breaker this time is not going to be on the field, okay? What's going to happen this time instead is that you're going to have field presence, and your opponent is going to normal summon Breaker from their hand. Now, when they normal summon him, activate your Trap Hole card, which states, if the attack of a monster summoned by your opponent, excluding special summon, is 1,000 points or more, the monster is destroyed. Breaker obviously has more than 1,000 points, so Breaker is destroyed and sent to the graveyard. And so is your Trap Hole. But you have a clear field to work with, unless your opponent can special summon a monster from their hand or their graveyard out onto the field. So, anyways, quick scenario, pretty easy. Alright, next. Breaker is in the graveyard. Take your Trap Hole, place it back in your Magic and Trap zone. Alright, Monster Reborn is in your opponent's hand. Because it attacks in Trap Hole, when your opponent special summons a monster, you're not allowed to activate it because it won't work. It says so in the card text. So if your opponent were to Monster Reborn Breaker out onto the field, Monster Reborn would go to the graveyard, and they would play it in their Magic and Trap card zone. Sorry about that. You can't activate Trap Hole because it states in the text that special summoning is excluded. It can't target a special summon monster. Now, Warrior Digrapher has 100 more attack points than Breaker at this point in time because he doesn't get a spell counter. However, your opponent can choose to Book of Moon you, and then attack you and destroy you if you don't have a backup solution, but you also have a Book of Moon, so basically what you'd do is you'd flip him down too, and nobody would get anywhere. And then it would be your turn. Your turn, you would flip summon your Greffer. They don't have a backfield, you attack, you get rid of the Breaker. Maybe you have another monster that you can summon and attack for life points directly. But yeah, that was some quick scenarios, some quick game mechanics. Relatively easy to pick up. You just have to read the text of the cards to understand what they do. Some game mechanics and some plays are very simple in the game. Some not so much so, but this was one of the more simpler ones. So I hope it helped, and we'll be moving on with the rest of the films.